Okay, welcome. Today, we're diving into something pretty significant happening in global economics.
Indeed. It's about the U.S. government's recent moves on reciprocal tariffs.
Exactly, and we're really going to focus on Thailand here because, well, on July 7th, 2025, the U.S. announced these new tariffs, right? They kick in August 1st,
That's right. And the rate for Thailand, it actually remains at 36%.
which was set back in April 2nd, 2025.
Correct. A substantial figure.
So our deep dive today is going to unpack what this all means, using insights from an economic brief by Research. We're focusing specifically on how these U.S. tariffs hit Thailand.
And the aim really is to give you, the listener, a clear, kind of concise shortcut to understanding this.
Yeah, what are the real implications? Which products get hit hardest? And what are the bigger economic forces swirling around Thailand right now?
We want you to walk away with a solid grasp of a, let's face it, pretty complex situation.
Okay, so let's start with that number, 36%. It just jumps out. Especially when you see the rates for places like Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, even Japan and South Korea.
It's significantly higher, yes. A real standout.
Okay, let's unpack this then. 36% is a massive number. You mentioned it's reciprocal. What does that specifically mean in this context? Is it just like tit for tat?
Well, that's what's fascinating here. It's not just a tariff slapped on, it's designed to be reciprocal, meaning the U.S. is basically signaling, look, this high rate is leverage. It's a direct response, or at least framed as one, to what they see as trade barriers in Thailand.
Okay, so less about pure punishment.
And potentially more about forcing a negotiation, a new one, where Thailand might, need to offer something pretty significant on their end.
Like market access.
Exactly. Market access, maybe policy changes, something to bring that 36% rate down. Research actually points to comments attributed to President Trump suggesting just that.
Oh.
Yeah, the idea being if countries open up, these tariffs could change up or down, depending on the, quote, relationship.
So for Thailand, the path forward seems to involve opening their own markets more to U.S. goods, maybe other conditions.
That seems to be the implication, yes. It looks like a high-stakes negotiation is underway, or needs to be.
Okay, so that 36% rate is a very, very clear incentive for Thailand to adjust things. Given this pressure, what specific Thai industries are really feeling the heat? I mean, who's bearing the brunt?
Yeah, because it's a huge competitive disadvantage, right?
Absolutely.
Well, this 36%, it's not just a little pinch. Research expects it to cause a pretty deep shrinkage in Thai exports, particularly in the second half of 2025.
Wow, shrinkage.
Yeah, and they suggest this could lead to a substantial rerouting of U.S. demand. Basically, buyers might look elsewhere.
Like towards Vietnam or Malaysia, who you mentioned have lower rates.
Precisely. Siphoning off market share that Thailand, spent years building up.
So which sectors specifically?
The ones highlighted most directly are electrical transformers, printers, air conditioners, and also processed fish and shrimp.
Those are significant export categories for Thailand.
They really are. Vital ones. So the hit is, well, it's substantial.
Wow, okay. Major industries facing a direct hit to their competitiveness from this 36% rate. But I understand Thailand isn't just dealing with this tariff in isolation, right? There are other economic pressures piling on.
There certainly are, yes. It's not just the tariff.
What else is going on?
Well, beyond the direct tariff impact, the Thai baht, their currency, has actually strengthened quite a bit.
Strengthened. Usually you'd think a weaker currency helps exports.
Exactly. But since the start of the year, it's appreciated by around 5% against the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
It went from about 34.50 baht per dollar to below 32.50 as of early July.
Okay, and why is that happening? Global capital flows. Investment.
It's likely factors like that, yes. Global capital movements, maybe specific investment interest in Thailand. But
The effect is that it makes Thai exports even less competitive.
Precisely. It further undermines their competitiveness because, simply put, U.S. buyers now need more dollars to buy the same amount of baht. Thai goods become pricier for them.
So a double whammy then.
Yeah,
Tariffs are one big headwind and the stronger baht is another.
that's a good way to put it.
But hang on, just when you think that's enough to deal with, there's actually a third potential issue looming, right? Section 232 tariffs. How does that complicate things?
You're right to bring that up. It's another significant risk factor on the horizon.
Section 232, that's the national security one, isn't it? Like steel and aluminum, before.
That's the one. The U.S. is currently investigating various goods under Section 232, which allows tariffs on items deemed, well, a threat to national security. It's a broad category.
And for Thailand, what's the worry there? What goods?
The concern is that key Thai exports currently under investigation, things like semiconductors, copper, pharmaceuticals, even processed wood could get flagged.
As critical or vulnerable supply chains.
Exactly. And if additional tariffs are imposed on those products, which could happen maybe late 2025, possibly early 2026.
That would pile even more pressure onto Thailand's exports.
It certainly would, especially given how important some of those sectors, like semiconductors, are becoming in their overall export picture.
Man. So on top of the 36% reciprocal tariff and the stronger baht, they have this cloud of potential new tariffs hanging over critical industries.
It really underscores how interconnected everything is in the global economy.
It's never just one thing, is it? So what does all this mean for Thailand's overall economic outlook? Are we looking at a serious slowdown?
It's definitely painting a complex, challenging picture. Research estimates that if Thailand keeps facing these higher tariffs compared to its neighbors, well, it will likely lead to that deeper contraction in exports we talked about.
And that affects investment too, presumably.
Yes, a slowdown in foreign investment, which then tends to dampen private investment domestically as well.
Are there other factors at play besides trade?
Oh, absolutely. There are other sort of internal and external weights on Thailand's economy right now.
Like what?
Tourism numbers, for one. They're projected to be lower than initially hoped, partly due to ongoing situations elsewhere, like the Middle East and some issues between Thailand and Cambodia.
And China. Is the Chinese tourist market back to pre-pandemic levels?
Apparently not fully recovered yet, so that's another factor. Plus, you always have domestic political stability to consider.
Right, which can impact confidence, government spending.
Exactly. Budget disbursement, investor sentiment, things like that.
Okay, so it really is a confluence of factors. Global trade pressure, currency strength, potential new tariffs, weaker tourism, domestic politics.
A lot hitting at once.
So what's the bottom line then from Research? What's their assessment for Thailand's GDP growth this year, factoring all this in?
Well, when you combine all these pressures, the U.S. tariffs, the baht, the Section 232 risk, plus those domestic and international factors impacting tourism and investment. Research now assesses that Thailand's GDP growth for 2025 is at risk of falling below 1.4%.
Below 1.4%. That's quite low.
It is. It reflects the weight of these combined challenges. They're keeping a very close eye on upcoming negotiations.
Especially before that August 1st tariff date.
Yes, Thailand's efforts there are crucial. And also, interestingly, the U.S.-China talks scheduled for August 12th.
Because that could shift the whole landscape.
It could influence the broader trade environment, absolutely.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap this for you, the listener. The core challenge facing Thailand right now is pretty significant.
You've got that formidable 36% U.S. reciprocal tariff.
Right, hitting key exports, hard electrical transformers, printers, air conditioners, processed fish and shrimp.
Then that's compounded by the Thai baht strengthening, making exports pricier.
Plus the looming threat of more tariffs, the Section 232 ones, possibly hitting crucial sectors like semiconductors and copper.
And don't forget those other pressures, tourism numbers not quite hitting targets, domestic political factors potentially slowing things down. It all adds up.
Understanding how all these pieces fit together, these global forces, these domestic factors, it's really vital, isn't it, for grasping complex international trade dynamics?
It absolutely is. It shows so clearly how one policy decision, like a tariff, can just ripple through an entire economy, affecting everything from, factory floors right through to tourist spots.
Yeah. And this deep dive into Thailand's economic tightrope walk, it really highlights how global trade is this constant negotiation, doesn't it? Such a delicate balance of leverage on one side, vulnerability on the other.
A constant balancing act.
So maybe a final thought to leave you with. What does this situation tell us about the future of international trade deals? And maybe how might countries like Thailand need to adapt their economic playbooks when they're facing this kind of intense, multifaceted pressure coming from outside and from within their own borders?
That's the big question, isn't it? How do you navigate that complexity going forward?